Welcome to Robot Wars, the 6th Wars, Heat 11, the penultimate heat in the quest for series semi-finalists. One machine to make it through here as Hypno-Disc, the mighty number 4 seeds return, and we prepare to grab a granny. Destroy with the drop zone. And play a bit of British Bulldogs. Will the ref bot even keep control on Robot Wars, the 6th Wars, as things go bump in the night to give a shocking fright, much to the crowd's delight?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Charles.
So, Heat 11. And tonight, the people's favourite Hypno-Disc spins into action! In the past, it's ripped its opponents nut from bolt. But these Roboteers ain't no dullards. They've wised up. The robots now have thicker armour, bigger weapons, and they're faster, so they can leg it when they're taking a pasting. Talking of which, who wants to get pummeling? I like a robot that's polished and then ever so slowly demolished. Let the wars begin!
Craig, it may look like cartoon capers, but with just 2 semi-final places left, the pace is ever quickening, the action more dramatic. Thrilled and spilled, will the seeds survive? If you can't stand the heat, I'll tell you what, stay out of the kitchen! Now, I've been out talking to some members of the crowd here who are starting to wonder whether Hypno-Disc has still got what it takes to be a major contender, or are its weaknesses now too well known? Well, only time will tell. In the meantime, let's have a look at the first round lineup.
From Banbury in Oxfordshire, Hypno-Disc.
Never failed to reach the series semi-final.
We've got a new disc that's much stronger. It's got a 7.5mm high-grade aluminium cover, the titanium wheel shafts, new armour all over. Basically, we've used all the small mechanical components from last year in a new chassis. It's going pretty well.
Has a 10mm aluminium checker plate chassis and 6mm aluminium rear armour. The disc weighs 20 kilos, runs at 95 miles an hour, massively destructive, but it has low pushing power.
From Shayville in Reading, Granny's Revenge 2.
Oh no, gruesome, ghastly Gran is back. It's only fun.
Right, so love, how do you feel about being pitched up against the disc then? She didn't say much, but she gets quite hot during the battles, if you know what I mean.
An electric wheelchair with a dummy granny sitting in it, a deadly axe, good mobility, but a little bit top-heavy, flammable. No lessons learned from previous attempts, I'm afraid.
From Dublin in Ireland, 4x4.
A weapon, a clamp and a cloth.
What are you going to do against the disc?
Well, we have a hidden plan. I don't know, I hope our opponents aren't looking here, but we're actually going to put a cloth. It's something similar to what the chainsaw people use.
Yeah.
For when the chainsaw that snags the chainsaw. So we're going to line the hole around the robot. I'm going to snag
the disc.
Yeah, we're going to snag the disc.
Fabulous, and the other one you're up against is Barber-Ous, so that might work for Barber-Ous as well.
All right, they have a vertical disc, haven't they?
They're spinning round like that.
We should leave them for dust.
Nice plan, I like it. Thank you very much.
That's a 50cc moped engine driving 3 hydraulic pumps, titanium body protection, but a high ground clearance leaves the pneumatic wheels exposed, and there's limited petrol too.
From Horsham in West Sussex, Barber-Ous 2.
An odd bod, it's the Robot Wars Sweeney Todd.
The one thing that we're most susceptible to, I would say, is horizontal spinning weapons. The one robot that I didn't want to be pitched against was Hypno-Disc.
Look at you! That's all I needed to hear.
A barbed barber's pole with the drum weapon, not too quick at 10 miles an hour. The strength is made of plastic, the weakness is it's made of plastic. Curious.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams. Barber-Ous, the captain Simon Rafferty on the left. Granny's Revenge, captain by Trevor Andrew on the right-hand side. Hypno-Disc, very experienced, the Rose family. Dave captains on the left, and then 4x4 with Benny Castle and Andrew on the right. Sergeant Bash is in there for the house robots in the arena. Ooh, Sir Kilolot's there too.
3, 2, 1, activate.
I want to see the Barber-Ous weaponry here. Look at it. Churning. Granny's Revenge right in the middle. Granny's Revenge 2, I should say. There wasn't a great deal of the original Granny's Revenge machine left from the last wars. It's all good fun, isn't it? Sergeant Bash is in there with a lick of flame. Barber-Ous is to give close attention to poor old Granny. And in comes Sergeant Bash again. Hypno-Disc is behind. There's Barber-Ous now. Is it a truly controlled weapon? Using the cloth there to snag other weaponry. 4x4 has snagged the Barber-Ous 2 machinery, but I'm not too sure what damage it's caused Barber-Ous 2 there. The cloth from 4x4. And something's come off there. It is just the cloth from Barber-Ous 2. So 4x4's big plan to snag up anything hasn't really worked. But Barber-Ous 2 has been attacked by Hypno-Disc. Granny's Revenge 2 is about to be counted out. She's smoking already. Granny, don't smoke, it's bad for your health. Hypno-Disc on the attack on 4x4, which has done nothing. Boys from Dublin, if your best hope was a bit of cloth, dear oh dear, Granny's Revenge is on its way out. Poor old Granny is counted out. The team from Reading, Trevor Andrew and his sons Philip and Ben, they're the ones who put Granny in, not us. We're seeing the ref cam there. To me, Hypno-Disc is the only one still moving. Granny's on fire. Barber-Ous 2 has been shunted by Hypno-Disc, but I think they're immobile as well. 4x4, there's nothing there, so which was the robot last standing of those three to go through with Hypno-Disc? Poor old Granny's underneath the drop zone, it's a cooker! Hypno-Disc has spun and won, we know that. The ultimate smash to smithereens, Granny's Revenge 2. This is a cooker. Like the one back at home in your kitchen. Think of the weight. Slam. Nothing left of you, ma'am. And I'm being told that it's Barber-Ous who survived the longer to go through with Hypno-Disc. So Barber-Ous have gone through with Hypno-Disc. Poor old Granny, there's nothing left of you. But cease is finally called. The Rose family, well, they're blooming. They've gone Granny's Revenge. I think the Barber-Ous team are through.
Hypno-Disc, it's looking ominous. 4x4 gets shown the door, but that is no way to treat the elderly. Poor Granny's Revenge gets toasted by Bash and then a cooker dropped on her head. Barber-Ous and Hypno-Disc, they go through.
You may not recognise this robot, but it was the Granny. What's happened to Granny?
Gone to heaven.
Oh, you see, I've got this little camera. I don't think it gets a big enough shot. Shall I just go like that? In the general direction? And there you can see damage is actually unlimited. You nearly went over the edge as well.
No, yes, that was our biggest fear, was being tipped over, and fire, of course. But,
yes, but you know about the fire though. Did you suspect this might happen?
No, it's very surprising. It's just on a few scratches, nothing we can't repair.
Oh, well done. And this is all...
I think I have to blame someone. Who can we blame?
Blame me, I'm used to it. I get all the blame. Look, this is all...
No, I wouldn't dream of blaming you.
Is this damage from Hypno-Disc?
This is Hypno. No, this is more important, this damage here. Now, this is Hypno-Disc.
This is at the end,
This is Hypno-Disc. This is very serious damage here. We have hydraulic pipes and all things like that.
Oh, really? Yeah. So actually, what's it? You can't see it. I wish I had smelly vision, because it petrol leaking all over the place.
We've also lost our petrol tank.
You've lost everything, really. And you've lost your chance for a place in the final as well.
4x4 and Granny's Revenge 2 are out. Hypno-Disc and Barber-Ous 2 go through.
From Cannock in Staffordshire, Bulldog breed.
Twice a heat finalist before. Can they go one step more?
Right, it's smaller in length, it's smaller in width, and it's smaller in height. But it is, as they say, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
What? Anyway, improved design on the last 3 series, more durable, harder hitting, more powerful flipper, more controllable. It exudes gas when angry, so what? So does my mum.
From Addleston in Surrey, Cat 3.
Will the kitty get its claws into something this time? Good fun team, this.
Neat owl, guys. I'm just gonna look at the outfits and the accessories. Look, there we go. Big on the skirt, big on the nails. Forgive me, we're not going technical now. What else have you got? Nice collar there. Lovely ears, big on the ears. There, nice ear shot. Sorry, not the greatest ear shot. And who was telling me about tattoos?
Oh, yeah. Not
There,
very good, it's run off. We have team tattoos as well, not real ones.
And the robot's not so bad either.
Electric powered in the main, but the axe is actually powered by gas. The robot strength's girl power. The weaknesses, yes, driver control.
From Belbroughton in Worcestershire, Revenge of Trouble and Strife.
But will it be wedded to winning ways, I wonder?
And who's the opposition you're most worried about?
In this group, it's got to be Hypno-Disc, but otherwise, the guys over there, Cat 3 with that long spiky disc, could find our vitals in here and
Yes,
a
and
bit
have
of
you
trouble.
seen their nails?
No.
A 2-weapon robot, the surrounding rotating 25-kilo disc forms the bodywork. The overhanging high-power pneumatic flipper is also a Sremek. It's brutal, it's raw.
From Bradninch in Exeter, Spin Doctor.
A new team, they admit they don't even know their own strength.
Harry Potter, he knows, he's sick of it. Sorry, Alistair. Are you going to work your magic on this thing, though?
Oh yes, definitely.
How deathly is it? You were the man inspired by a dream in the middle of the night to create the robot.
It's actually, we're rather frightened of it.
Are you?
We've only just tested it at full speed because it's kind of scary.
It's barely tamed.
No, not really.
A totally revolving body made from a lorry wheel, rotating at 300 RPM with large spikes mounted, but the cut-off switches are on a non-rotating panel on top and very vulnerable.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams. Spin Doctor on the left, the Harlow family, Alistair, Tim and Jenny, and Bulldog breed on the right, Tony and Robert Summerfield. Revenge of Trouble and Strife on the left-hand side. Peter Forsey is the captain. Cat 3, captained by Keith Williams there. Sergeant Bash is in the arena for the House Robots, and also Sir Killalot. Mind your P's and Q's.
3, 2, 1, activate.
I think I'll go for Bulldog breed in this right from the start. Bulldog breed's initial slam leaves the Doctor spinning, out of control. Now back down to the arena floor. It doesn't look too confident. Only 5 mile an hour top speed from Spin Doctor. There's Cat 3. Again nudged away, coming out from the arena sidewall and turning Revenge of Trouble and Strife completely over. Bulldog breed was the destructive robot here, along with Cat 3, but it was Bulldog breed that got the flipper in underneath Revenge of Trouble and Strife, and they were turned over. And I wonder if they can self-right. They say that the weaponry, the pneumatic flipper there, acts as a Sremek. I'm not too sure. Refbot, go in and have a look. Moving away slowly is the Spin Doctor. Bulldog breed in there as well underneath. The Doctor's spinning once again. Cat 3 staying out of trouble. The Refbot does come in to have a look at Revenge of Trouble and Strife. They went out to Wild Thing in the heat in Robot Wars, the 5th Wars. And I think they're going to go out again here now. Peter, Jake and Sam Forsey. And the Spin Doctor is turned into the CPZ as well. Out goes Revenge of Trouble and Strife, counted down. The crowd counting along, but Spin Doctor is also in major peril. There goes the Trouble and Strife. You never could count on it, could you? Oh dear, that's me in trouble when I get home. Cat 3 away and safe because Spin Doctor is about to be crunched by Sergeant Bash. Look at that crumpling power. Cat 3 through without really doing anything, and now Bulldog Breed attacks the kitty. They were caught unawares because they thought they were through safely. Well, yes, they were. They thought, we wait and see. There you're seeing the Spin Doctor team. They're in all sorts of trouble with Sergeant Bash in there as well. Revenge of Trouble and Strife may be moving. Oh, in the pit anyway. Well, they had a rotten time out there. They'd gone before counted out, and the ref is counting out Spin Doctor now. So the two spinning discs on wheels, Spin Doctor and Revenge of Trouble and Strife, have both been beaten here. Bent and bruised. And Sergeant Bash can finish the job off. Oh, with Sir Killalot coming in now. Ooh, a little bit of metal right in there. Right in the grips of the pincers. Can you see it? Enough purchase on Spin Doctor, though, to haul the Harlow family's machine away. And in the end, Cat 3 ends up in the pit, but they're safe already. They'll go through. This machine's gone, Spin Doctor. Floor flipper, I think. Always vulnerable with the cut-off switches on top. Vulnerable to an overhead attack. And they end up over and out. Spin Doctor. In an age of spin, reality is hard to take.
Cease.
Revenge of Trouble and Strife. That wasn't revenge, that was more of the same. Spin Doctor flipped all over the arena and spins out of the competition. Bulldog Breed and the Cat, they go through.
Come on then. Alistair, what happened there? You were the one driving.
Well, spinny thingy didn't spin.
Did it?
It didn't.
It was really disappointing for us.
Yeah, we were thinking we'd just, well, at least get one good hit in before it all collapsed, but no.
I want to have a little look at that damage up there.
Oh, don't.
You can see there's some damage around here.
Yeah, this strut's completely gone.
What?
So.
No, it's inside there, is it? That was what the problem was. Wait a minute, let me juggle around here. Go on, point it out to me,
This strut here,
yes.
further back, it's just sheared off completely. That's
just
tipping us up, and so we couldn't spin,
and then nothing worked,
yes.
And you were upside down.
Yeah.
And there was a massive build-up to come into Robot Wars, and now it's all deflated.
Well, never mind.
Anyone would think you were on a nice afternoon out here.
Well, we were until shortly, until our engine stalled immediately and left us in a spot of bother.
Ah, you were definitely in a spot of bother.
Yeah, we were, yeah.
Now, kids, talk me through the damage, come on. What's happened? Anything gone wrong? Anything mutilated? Anything round the back? Nope.
Is there any damage, boys?
No, there's no damage.
Bent aerial, that's all.
Slightly bent aerial.
Yeah.
That's why you couldn't do the damage that you wanted to do to the other robots.
Because our motor conked out. We had trouble starting it, and then it was running okay. We drove it there, turned it up to get the disc spinning. It just went like that. Poor boys. I mean, look at them. They've been really golden there.
So, Revenge of Trouble and Strife and Spin Doctor are out. Bulldog Breed and Cat 3 through to the second round. In a moment, we'll see Barber-Ous 2 against the Cat. First up, Hypno-Disc and Bulldog Breed. What a match.
It's a beautiful thing. A family united by a hunk of metal. Now that hunk of metal needs to fight another fight, doesn't it? You want to know who you're up against?
Yes, please.
In round 2, Hypno-Disc goes up against Bulldog Breed.
Ooh.
You were a bit delayed with the reaction, love.
Sorry about that.
Tough robot.
Yeah, it's
Very
a tough
tough
robot. Can you slice him, do you think?
Well, we did it once, haven't we? So we could do it again, but he's made a few improvements, but then so have we.
Now, you'll have seen that I just came direct to you from the Hypno-Disc team.
Right.
Because that's who you're up against next.
Oh dear. I bet they're so scared. I bet they're shivering in the boots.
Are you?
No.
No? Well, of course not, because you've made improvements.
We have. We just hope we can get our own back for the last time. They owe us one, and I think we're going to try and make them pay for it.
This isn't just round 2, it's a grudge match.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They owe us.
Why? Because they met in the heat final of Robot Wars, the 5th Wars. And Hypno-Disc came out on top despite taking a bruising from the Bulldog. Took some punishment. But it was Hypno-Disc who finished spinning and winning as ever. Ripping out there the Bulldog Breed failsafe. It meant the doggy was no more. They were gutted. They had no power, no weaponry, no future. They mean revenge.
They're tearing up the war zone tonight, but can they tear up each other? Let round 2 begin.
Hypno-Disc. Bulldog Breed. Roboteers, stand by.
The Hypno-Disc Rose family, 3 times grand finalists in Robot Wars. Bulldog Breed, Tony and Robert Summerfield. A feisty competitor. Matilda's in the arena for the House Robots. And they're dead metal with the spinning blade. Serrated and awful.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
A real grudge match here. The classic spinning weapon against the classic flipper. Hypno-Disc forces Bulldog Breed away after surviving an initial onslaught from the dog, and again, its spinning weapon, the disc actually carrying it away from the final flipper thrust. And that's what's happening at the moment. And I also think that the Hypno-Disc spinning weapon has caused damage to Bulldog Breed, and I'm not too sure whether the flipper's working. It is. It's okay. For a minute there, I thought Bulldog Breed's weaponry had been rendered inactive. They're in trouble though, aren't they? And it was from that first real attack from Hypno-Disc, and Bulldog Breed is fighting a rear guard action here against Dead Metal, trying to get the flipper to thrust away Dead Metal. Tony Summerfield, an engineer by trade, loves his classical music, loves a little bit of peace and quiet from the classics, but his machine has suffered some damage out there, and it is crying a mechanical cry of woe. And this battle is almost over, I would suggest. It was that huge thrust by Hypno-Disc, the weapon spinning at 900 RPM and weighing 20 kilos, that was so destructive. Another side slam as Bulldog Breed is counted out, and Hypno-Disc move forward into yet another heat final. Bulldog Breed had to get it over early, and they failed to do so.
The awesome power of Hypno-Disc turns Bulldog Breed into a puppy dog. Hypno-Disc goes spinning through!
Oh, Bulldog Breed.
You fought them in the last war as well.
That's right, we did. We caught them in the heat final. We lost that one as well. If we didn't have any bad luck, I didn't think we'd have any at all. We drew them again.
It was an unlucky draw. After the initial contact, though, when you almost flipped them, I thought, ooh, in with a chance.
Yeah, so did we. Not to be.
It did not hit you hard, though.
Yes, it did. It took out the motor on the left-hand side. Last year, they took out the motor on the right-hand side.
Why'd you have the motors so close to the sides?
Because there's no room inside.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Are you going to come back again?
Oh, yeah. We're going to get them a third time. If we lose next time, they can have a little model of us on their mantelpiece.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Bulldog breed! Well, they're gutted.
Well, we're pleased.
I know. Yeah. Well, you beat them last time, so you must have felt a bit confident going into it.
Well, they've got such a good flipper. I mean, anything could happen. We went to plan, but we had that little incident to start with, and they got that real big flip in, and we were nearly over.
You were nearly over. In fact, you've done some damage to the arena floor as you came back down again with the disc.
Yeah, it just chewed in there, but it was the disc that actually kept it upright, I think.
Yeah. Look, guys, you always flatter to deceive. Are you going to go all the way this time?
Oh, I don't know. Anything can happen, and it nearly did happen just then.
But Hypno-Disc survived to fight another day. Bulldog breed are out. Next up, Barber-Ous 2 and Cat 3.
The final touches. Barber-Ous v Cat, that's what you've got to look forward to. You're up against the Cat next. You had all that work to do, didn't you? Yep. And not a lot of time to do it. Nope. So what did you do? What did you end up doing?
We had to remake the wheels. If you have a look at the disc of the wheel rim over there.
Here it is.
Decided that was really irreparable, and so I had to come up with a different design for the wheels. We had some of this blue plastic, which we just sort of cut a slot in, inserted another bit to expand it out a bit, and used that as the wheel rims instead. Bolted the tyres on, bolted the original sides on.
And you actually think it's going to be better now, not just fixed?
It's lighter, and it seemed the wheels actually run more truly.
So you're fighting Cat? That's fine? Yeah, good. Let's see if they're so cool. Let's see if we've got cool cats around the corner. They've had to do a lot of work very quickly, but it's kind of resulted in a redesign. How do you feel about that? They're a bit lighter and maybe a bit more manoeuvrable as a consequence.
We're worried. They're very impressive. We've seen them before. But I think we'll hold our own.
Do you?
Yeah.
You all right, you reckon?
Yeah, we're not going to go and get shot back inside.
Barber-Ous 2. Cat 3. Roboteers, stand by.
Barber-Ous 2 team, Simon Rafferty, Guy Radford, Chris Watts. And Cat 3 with the furry ears, Keith and Julianne Williams and Georgie Reed. So Kilolot's in there. That's any furry ears there. And Shunt.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Well, they're very tentative coming out, aren't they? Cat 3, oh! Down came the axe, but when Barber-Ous 2 moves with a menace, he can thrust anything away. And he's just tossed 97 kilos of Cat 3 across the arena. I think if they could truly modify Barber-Ous so that it was better controlled, they could have a deadly weapon here. The spinning, twisty, turny, spiky Barber's pole. Cat 3 on its side. And where can Cat 3 go from here? Got Go Faster orange tiger stripes, we know. It has the girl power. At the moment, the arena is going to be kitty littered, I think. Barber-Ous 2 has Cat 3 on its side. How many lives does the cat have? Barber-Ous is doing all the work. Cat 3 trying to self-right using the pneumatic axe. But I think the balance is wrong, and I don't think they're going to be able to self-right. Neither does the ref bot. He's going in. He's having a look. He hasn't started the count yet, but it's not going to be long, surely. Barber-Ous 2 winds up for another attack. The count has started. The crowd pick it up. Cat 3 about to head out. And that's a shame for Keith and George and Julianne. They won't be making the heat final, and it's Barber-Ous 2 that go through to meet Hypno-Disc. Simon, Guy and Chris. Again, another stomach-churning attack on the Cat 3 robot, which is now being clawed by Killalot and dragged away onto the floor flipper or the pit. Oh, what's come off there? I mean, after all that, they've chopped apart their own weaponry off. Cat 3 must have been pincered off by Sir Killalot, I would have thought, and the floor flipper does the rest. The damage was caused by Sir Killalot, and in the end, an axeless Cat 3 goes flying.
Cease.
No question about it, Barber-Ous 2 go through. Oh dear, oh dear.
Cat 3, use all their 9 lives. Barber-Ous go marching on! Oh, cat. It all went pants, didn't it? What happened?
Oh, I don't know. I think we were just a bit outclassed. We operated the axe a few times when we were on the side.
The axe looked quite awesome.
It was quite a powerful axe, yeah. But there's spikes on the side of the head to self-right it, and they both snapped off when we went over, so we just couldn't self-right.
That's why you're just on your side and you couldn't get up then?
Yeah.
I mean, have you... Come here. Have you seen your axe? There you go. A little trophy for Sir Killalot there. Never mind. And all that effort you went through. I mean, look at the costumes.
Well, we went out in style.
You got tails. Do you think if you'd spent more time on the robot and less time on the outfit, it might have been a better result?
Where would the fun in that be, though?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. This is Cat 3. Well, you've got a Hypno-Disc in the next round.
Well, we fought him in the last round as well, and it just took us apart.
I know.
So we've spent ages putting it back together again. And, you know, it's a bit of a mixed blessing winning this one, because back to the same thing.
Well, I mean, surely there's a way, there's a tactic, there must be somehow
we have a plan
that you can beat them. What is the plan? Come on, tell me. I won't tell anyone.
I reckon the top shell of it is much thinner than the chassis and base. So if we can get up on top, or take it from behind, so to speak, and sort of get up over on the top, it may sort of shred enough of the protective stuff for the motors and the radio and stuff like that. That's the plan.
Well, you spin that way.
We actually spin that way.
You spin
so
that way,
and
it spins that way.
Yeah.
It's like, a bit like an immovable object meeting an irresistible force in many ways.
Yeah, it wasn't a good combination, so...
No. Do you think you can do it?
I think we can do it if we try hard enough, but it's going to be tough.
Well, good luck with Hypno-Disc.
Thanks
we'll
very
have
much,
our
Craig.
fingers crossed. They're a fine robot, but then so are you. Ladies and gentlemen, Barber-Ous. Cheers.
So, Barber-Ous 2 impressive as they knock Cat 3 out, and this looks like a good heat final to me. Hypno-Disc, the seeded machine, against Barber-Ous 2. Have we underestimated them? Well, it was a very competitive lineup tonight, and congratulations to the two robots who've made it through to the heat final. Let's see how they did it. Barber-Ous 2's churning weaponry has always looked impressive. Granny's Revenge 2 sidelined in the first battle, and 4x4 rendered impotent too. Poor old Granny never had much chance as Barber-Ous 2 and Hypno-Disc went through. 4x4 used that cloth to try and wrap itself around Barber-Ous, but it didn't work. Barber-Ous took some punishment. Not as much as poor old Gran. Meanwhile, in the other first round battle, Cat 3 was too strong for Revenge of Trouble and Strife. Bulldog breed was too strong for Revenge of Trouble and Strife. While Trouble and Strife were being counted out, Bulldog set about Spin Doctor. Looked impressive at that stage. In the second round, though, the Bulldog came up against Hypno-Disc. Started brightly, but 4 bashes in a row from the spinning disc put paid to Bulldog breed's power, momentum, and hope. Dead metal in the rest. Cat 3 and Barber-Ous 2 were meeting in the second round. That was enough for Cat 3. The first attack from Barber-Ous 2 had done all the damage. It may not be the most orthodox looking machine, but Barber-Ous 2 has some power when it spins. Mind you, you're up against the 4th seeds.
Barber-Ous, no problem at all.
No?
No whatsoever. They're too slow. They're too slow. Far too slow.
Okay. And the Hypno-Disc is working well?
Yeah, better than ever.
Good.
Philippa, I'm surprised that they come back for more.
At this late stage in the proceedings, how are you feeling precisely about Hypno-Disc?
Hypno-Disc. A little nervous, obviously, but we've got nothing to lose at this point.
They said to me, do you think we're going to win? And I just looked at the robot and they went, no, no, you don't, do you? You don't. You paranoid, the lot of you.
No, I don't think so. We've good reason to fear them.
You have very good reason to fear them. But you got your new design from your wheels.
Yes, we have.
Yeah?
Nice new wheels, nice new drum after the last encounter.
Nice big spikes.
Lovely spikes.
You're away.
Thanks, Philippa. Well, to my mind, it's going to be a very one-sided fight, but you never know when you get in that war zone. Anyway, let's hear what Jonathan and Philippa have to say about it.
Hypno-Disc against Barber-Ous. I said at the start of the programme, how can plastic take on Hypno-Disc? Philippa's come up from the pitch. You know better than I, because you've been down there. This has got to be so one-sided, hasn't it?
This is one of those robots, Barber-Ous, where you think, which came first, the name or the robot? Did they just sit there and think, I know, Barber-Ous. Barber's pole, let's do it. But they've had a really interesting run of it because they got their wheels damaged quite early on and had to completely redesign them because they didn't have the right parts to rebuild them. And the wheels they've redesigned are actually better than the ones they originally had. And they're going really well. But I'm with you on this one. I just don't think they can stand up to the power of Hypno-Disc if Hypno-Disc works. Because, again, they've had a few gear problems and they've changed things since last year, and I don't actually think it's working as well as it was last time.
Don't think they're better than last year?
No, they say they are, but it's yet to be seen, I think. I don't think we've seen, you know, that carnage that we love to see when they come into the arena.
OK, so you're going Hypno-Disc, and I'll tell you what, Barber's pole, this won't even be a close shave. Hypno-Disc for me too.
2 robots left, but as usual, there's no prizes for coming second. This is all or nothing. This is the heat final.
Hypno-Disc.
Never failed to reach a grand final. Dave, Derek and Ken Rose.
Barber-Ous 2.
The underdogs. Plastic against spinning disc. The Barber-Ous team, Simon Rafferty, Guy Radford, Chris Watts.
Roboteers, stand by.
Matilda's in the arena with the spinning flywheel. Shunt's there too with the bulldozer blade, the axe.
3, 2, 1, activate.
A single blow from Hypno-Disc can destroy anything. It hasn't got great pushing power. If Barber-Ous 2 can get in there and nudge it back, has the one spin of the disc not Barber-Ous still? Is that what it would take to get through the plastic armoury and destroy Barber-Ous? I think they've succeeded, Hypno-Disc. The drum is quietening, is stopping, has stopped, is being tattered. Plastic against metal. I hate to say we told you so, but we told you so. And there, the scars of war. Hypno-Disc, not as impressive as the last series. Are we sure? Down goes the pit. Barber-Ous 2, a long, lengthy Barber's pole, gradually nudged into submission. And the pit, one wheel hangs limply to one side. The ref bot comes in for a look. Well, they've done brilliantly to get through this spot. I love the innovative design of it. I hope they come back with a stronger robot. But the basic principle seems sound to me. What do you think? But this Robot Wars The campaign is over for Barber-Ous 2. And a very good machine goes through. Look at the scars in the plastic. But the debate over Hypno-Disc will continue as Shunt gets rid of Barber-Ous 2. Is Hypno-Disc stronger? Will they go further? Can they win the title? Hypno-Disc through to the series semi.
Barber-Ous gets slaughtered. Hypno-Disc goes spinning through to the series semi-finals. Well, that was all over fairly quickly, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
What happened?
I think actually the first hit they got was onto the end that had the power cutout out. The power cutout goes through the axle that the wheels and the drum run on. Took that off and we had no power all of a sudden.
Well, that was like the first hit, wasn't it?
Pretty much. But we did give him a good clobber in the process. They seemed to be having control problems after that. But, yeah, luck of the draw.
With the 4th seeds, there's no disgrace in losing to Hypno-Disc.
No, I was fabulous getting to fight them in the first round as well.
Will you come back? And if you do come back, what changes are you going to make to your robot?
Some skirts around the outside so that they can clobber us at least once without it doing the wheels.
So skirts then?
Yeah, just little sort of hangy-downy...
Sort of feminine sort of robot.
What sort of hairdresseress?
Yeah, not Barber-Ous, hairdresseress, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Barber-Ous! Tell you what, you see the size of them?
Yeah.
It's a good job the fighting's in the arena, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, we're pleased about that.
Yeah, listen, that was easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Well, we had a good practice on the first round melee. It was just a case of doing the same thing again, really.
Yeah.
But, they've done a really amazing job of putting it back together again to come and fight in the semi-final.
Guys, you're flattered to deceive. I mean, a lot of robots have competed in Robot Wars, and you think, oh, that could win. And yours is the one that people think should win, and it never has. Why is that?
Bit of bad luck. It's luck of the draw, actually, who you come up against in the further down the competition. You've got to be lucky just to pick a robot that suits your type of attack. Hopefully this year we'll be lucky.
Let's hope the luck holds, eh?
Yes, fingers crossed.
Let's hope you go all the way, eh?
It wasn't much luck then, no, was it?
No, that wasn't. That was all design, that was all design, skill, engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, let's spin to win with Hypno-Disc! When Hypno-Disc spins and the motor roars, get out of the way. It's Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Against all quizzing wisdom, trying not to get any points next on Challenging Pointless. See how things are going at the 8 Hotel next on Pick. They don't call it that though. They call it the Monkey World 8 Rescue Centre, which doesn't sound as fun.
Coming next time, the final heat eliminator to complete the semi-final lineup. And bigger brother, the number 2 seeds are back on Robot Wars, the 6th Wars.